Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new semester. Yes, a new semester. Here we are. Very exciting. My name is Sami, and I am very excited about a new semester. I can actually get excited every semester. This is not my first semester teaching. A matter of fact, I actually started teaching in, I started teaching in 1992. But I mean, in terms of teaching in San Francisco, I started teaching in San Francisco at the college level in 1993. So, yeah, that was a long time ago. Like, when I first started teaching, uh, Nirvana was still together as a group, and Kurt Cobain was still alive. When I first started teaching, Tupac was alive. A matter of fact, Tupac wasn't even famous yet. And yeah, he was a backup dancer at the time for the Digital Underground in Oakland. Yeah, I don't know if you're not familiar with them, but anyway, the Notorious B.I.G. was alive. It was a long time ago. But even though it was a long time ago, I it was a long time ago, and I've been teaching a long time for all these years. But still, on the first day of class like this, I'm still excited. I'm still stoked. I'm still happy to be here and excited to be doing this, to be with you. And nothing has changed. I'm just as excited now as I was on my very first day back in coming to San Francisco in 1990, three, back 93, 94, that era. It's still exciting, partially because it's just a good match. Like, I love doing this. I love teaching and whatnot. So it's a good match. That's part of it. Part of it is just all the great students coming through and refreshing everything all the time with all their new perspectives and all their points of view. That keeps everything fresh as well. And then also, if you think about what we're doing here, we're talking about communication. That's something you never get really tired about. It's pretty exciting. Like, people come here and we talk about communication, and we talk about becoming better communicators, and that's exciting. Like, it's always something that's fun. It's something that's positive. So yeah, I've been doing this since 1994, 93, whatever it was, but it's still just as exciting now as it was way back then. So I'm really excited to be here, excited to be with you guys, excited for like a new semester, and excited also about the format, this being an online class. I think that's really cool. I've been doing online teaching not all the way to 1994 necessarily. I think I started teaching in an online environment in 2009, so a little bit over a decade ago. So not quite as long, but that was really when online classes started to become more of a thing. So I've been doing that all this time, and definitely enjoying it. Liking the format of online classes. So I'm excited to be here. I know some of you I know you're excited to be here in general. There may be a few of you that are maybe a little hesitant about this whole process. A class like this, and maybe, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look at the syllabus or anything, but just this idea of this class where every week I ask you to sort of express yourself and share your ideas on communication. And that can be a little bit, kind of off-putting, kind of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I just wanted to start off by saying, if you're feeling a little bit hesitant about the subject matter, which in this case is group communication or just communication in general, that's totally normal. I mean, it is intimidating a little bit to come into a situation where someone's asking you questions every week about yourself and sharing your ideas in this format where everybody can hear you or read what you wrote if you choose that option. That can be a little intimidating. So that's totally normal, and I think we might be a little bit shy. Anytime you have a new course, you might be stepping outside of your comfort zone, and it just takes time in general, regardless of what the subject matter is, to get used to a new semester. I don't know if you ever had the experience of going into a swimming pool, and at first the temperature just doesn't seem right. Usually it's too cold or it's too hot. Usually it's too cold, and you're sort of sticking your feet in, and your cousin says, "Hey, come on in. It's nice in here." And you go in, and then you get inside, and you're like, "Whoa, this is a lot colder than I expected." But then your body adjusts to it, and that's a big part of what we're doing here. And then you're playing in the pool, and you didn't even realize that after a while you're playing Marco Polo and whatnot, and you don't even really remember what the time when the temperature didn't seem right. And so that's a big thing, that idea that we have to adjust. We have to adjust to whatever it is, adjust to a new class, adjust to a new teacher, adjust to, some of you maybe are new to the school, and adjust to a new university, and adjust to a new college, all of those things, and adjust to a new major. But there's an adjustment, and then it really does become very comfortable when you start to get to know other people and share your thoughts and comment on other people's ideas, and it becomes very familiar. But if you're a little hesitant on the first day about the subject matter as you're reading through it, just know that that's totally normal. Stick with it. It'll be fine. A lot of my students have said they really enjoy the class, and it ends up being one of their favorite classes that they take in college. And they love the sense of community that we achieve here. Just, everybody getting in there and saying things on a pretty much weekly basis. So that's exciting. Now, in terms of that's just in communication in general, but to get specific about the topic of the class and why we're doing all this, well, there's a bunch of reasons. I mean, groups are fun. The subject matter of the class is group communication, and groups are fun. They're just fun. It's fun to be part of a group and do things with a group of people. There's also, though, I think there's a thing with groups too, is they're unavoidable in a lot of ways. Think about different jobs or careers you could have. How many of them involve you just working by yourself? Maybe lighthouse operator, I was thinking, or lighthouse attendant. Yeah, I don't even know if that's a profession anymore. I think lighthouses were a big deal before they had radar, because otherwise the ship would, crash into the rocks. But so they needed lighthouses, and they needed someone to keep the light going. And usually those individuals would work alone, I think. I don't know. Maybe sometimes toll booth operators operate alone. Usually they have some coworkers, but nobody really works alone for the most part. But most jobs, it's not like a lighthouse attendee. It's, you have to work with other people in a team, whether that's in the medical field or it could be in the restaurant field or the technology field or education, all the different areas, entertainment. That usually it's a collaborative process. You're working with a lot of different people. Take, for example, a movie. I don't know if you've ever stayed at the end of a movie and watched, or if you're watching a movie on video, you just keep the credits going. I know sometimes Netflix pops you to the next episode or whatever, but if you just let the credits go on a movie, hundreds of people are involved in making them, because it's a collaborative effort. The movie might star one person like Brad Pitt or something, but just lots and lots of people collaborating. Or if you think of the iPhone, all the one of my buddies from college actually worked on the first iPhone, and he was collaborating. Really, he was collaborating very very much. It wasn't just one person created an iPhone. It was a whole bunch of people. So yeah, so for a lot of reasons, we are part of a group. So we can't help but avoid working in groups, and groups are fun. But we also, by studying groups, and that's what we're doing this semester, we can be more successful with groups. A lot of times people talk about, communication situations with groups or meetings, and they'll say, "Oh, I survived." And, I don't want to take away from that. I think survival is good, but we want to kind of go beyond just survival and get into thriving. So thriving as much as possible, not just surviving, but also thriving. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So I'm looking forward to having you thrive in their group communication and studying group communication. We use a variety of techniques to achieve this goal of communicating in groups and studying groups. We'll look at examples of group communication. We'll be reading about it as well. We'll be looking at videos, all different ways of sort of approaching this subject matter and really kind of making it more tangible, so that the theories and the textbook are relevant to everyday real life and can help you regardless of what your career is or in your social life. You'll just be better in groups. after having taken the course. I took this class actually back in 1987 at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where I went to school, and I absolutely loved it and learned a lot. And so we're sort of loosely basing it on that model. And then I've taught this course for many, many years, and the students have really always enjoyed it. So yeah, very, very exciting. If you are feeling hesitant about the class, what I would recommend is just feel the fear and do it anyway. So it's not like just do it, like by Nike, just where they say just do it. But actually in this case, feel the fear and do it anyway, meaning that be one with that emotion about like some hesitancy about, whatever it is that the class might be intimidating you or whatever, and just do it anyway, because it really is a good class. So glad to have you here. There's a syllabus, of course, as always. You can read through the syllabus and let me know if you have any questions. There, it mentions the textbook, so you can get some information about the textbook as well there. And you can look through everything basically in iLearn as you're kind of going through things, and look it over and just email me if you have questions through, I think you use QuickMail. And let me know if you have questions or concerns or thoughts or whatever. I'll try to answer them. But for today, like this initial talk is just to kind of give you just a basic orientation to kind of my philosophy of all this. I'm in the book as Omar Sami Kutsi, but I actually go by Sami, so everybody calls me Sami, so you can call me Sami too. And I guess I'll leave you with this idea that North Face says if you watch like North Face, their advertisement says never stop exploring. I would say, for this class, the theme is never stop communicating. We'll be communicating all the time about communication, about group communication, and it should be a lot of fun. Actually, should be a fun ride, I think, throughout. Let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy the first week. Enjoy the beginning of the school semester, and we'll kick things off really good and go from there. So feel the fear and do it anyway. Never stop communicating, and enjoy group communication for all it is, because we're all really happy to be here and stoked to be able to study this subject matter and spend some time doing school and learning about communication and expressing ourselves and thinking about things and getting to know other people and taking it from there. Thanks.